I would say as an athlete, JR was fucking elite, bro.
You used to throw it down in Denver. I mean, like he was.
You know what I mean? And not only did he have like the hops, but he had JR had a jumper, bro. Like it was wet.
Pure. For sure, man. I'm totally.
You know what I mean? And I think people had JR been able to kind of hone that craft a little bit more, he could have been like really dangerous, to be honest with you, bro. But he was nice.
He was. There's just a couple of those plays. I remember the one where the Cavs were playing the Bucks, and he walked off the floor and dabbed up.
Right, dabbed up somebody, and then they just cut to the. It was like, bro, what are you doing?
The middle of a game. Oh. Black people get hat hair. Is that a thing?
Yeah, hat hair. Depending on how long that hair is, I guess.
It's the fucking worst, bro. I'm wearing it all day, and I'm just like, I'm gonna keep this thing on.
I see you repping though.
I'm excited.
I see you repping. But the question is your boy coming back? Is he about to pull
Drew Brees? Bro, I mean, you know what's so weird? This shows kind of like how much of a pathetic, that's kind of a strong word, but fans just get too excited sometimes. Because when I heard that, I got real excited, just out of impulse. It wasn't a rational thing, It was just I saw the tweet and was like, man, that'd be crazy. But then if you're thinking about it logically, or if you're not a fan looking at it from the outside, you got to be that makes zero sense. He can't even get the ball 30 yards down the field. He's another year removed. There's no way.
He had a year to warm it, to get it healed. That's what the problem.
Oh, so you're arguing for it? You think no, I don't think that's a good idea, bro. He's one sack away from not being able to walk again. So I think you saw that hit he took his last year where he broke 8 ribs. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we don't need all that. I'm in Jameis we trust.
Oh, now you in Jameis we trust. If you,
we're boys, bro. I'm ready for the season, man. Why are you all dapper? Was that what you were to work?
Yeah, I mean, ain't none. I just had on a pull up and artist button up shirt and some jeans.
Nice, man. I dig it. That looks like it's so hot out here. If I was in that right now, I would be sweating through that.
Yeah, no, it's been pretty chill today. It's been just been drizzle pretty much all day, but it ain't been bad though.
Nice. A lot to go into, man. Where do you want to start? I mean, probably should start with the Western Conference Finals. What's going on with the NBA?
Yeah, that's going on tonight.
Yeah, I said Warriors in 5, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. I think that's probably going to be.
I mean, I figured that my guess was that they would go 6, so I think it'll end tonight. So
if it doesn't, though, that's interesting because then it goes back to Dallas, and if they win in that, then it's just anyone's game in a Game 7. But
it is. I mean, you have to give the Warriors just a home court advantage.
We said that about the Suns.
I did say that about the Suns.
We both did. Yeah.
But then I think it's a completely different beast and animal. And then you're dealing with a completely different team.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They have much more playoff experience. I mean, and to Pat Bev's point, the only person outside of Jay Crowder, no one has ever been to the finals more than once outside of Jay Crowder. And the one time that he went, that was with the Heat that one year.
Yep. You're right.
So the most that anybody's been is once outside of Jay Crowder, and he's been twice.
Yeah.
And that was in the bubble. So it wasn't as an experienced team. But yeah, I think the series will end today. I don't expect Dallas to hit 23s again, bro.
Mm-hmm. And have all that production from all those other dudes,
I just don't think it's gonna. Not granted, I don't think it's gonna be another outlier where Reggie Bullock goes 0 for 7 from the 3 and 0 for 10 from the field, and Maxi Kleber. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think those are just complete outliers of games, but I definitely think it'll end today.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. It's which is sad, but I think if you're Dallas, it's almost like a Cincinnati Bengals story where it's like you got to just be happy with what you did this year, man. Like hang your hat on that.
With that squad. Especially with that squad, you know what I mean? Like they got guys that you still got Tim Hardaway that's out injured, and they don't really have like a post presence.
No, definitely not.
So, but they're a hell of a defensive team. Who would have thought that Jalen Brunson would have had this like coming to the party at this stage? Dude is literally about to get paid just off this performance in these playoffs. And then Luka's just been doing Luka type shit. So
yeah, man, that dude. I mean, that game 7, if that was not his coming out, like it was just like that was crazy, bro. Just like national stage. That was awesome. That was awesome.
Dude's been balling, bro.
Is he top 5?
Yeah, he's top 5.
I'm probably putting him top 3, honestly. I mean, he's just like but the thing is the defense, right? Because I think we're so prone to just being like someone's so great offensively and we don't even.
And he just doesn't have great lateral movement defensively, and that's why they just pick at him. The thing is that he's just so he's strong, so like you guys can't really drive at him like that. But if he gets better defensively, that'll be a really good. And they just need some sort of like post presence. They need it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do. Because I want to say the core, but I don't even know what you call that core. Like Luka and obviously.
I like what they have in their starters. I think you can get an upgrade for Powell.
They need like another dude though. That's like a go-to. Like 20-point per game scorer.
Like they need more of a defensive presence and like somebody that you can like put the ball in the post and like can get you a bucket here and there. Mm-hmm. I don't think it has to be anything too crazy, but who knows?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like they're on the right trajectory, right? It's just like they got to make good moves, and we'll see. I love that him and Doncic and Booker rivalry. I hope that's something that we see in the Western Conference for like years to come now. That was pretty fun to watch.
That was. And I have to say this, no offense to any of the individuals that made it to the first team All-NBA, but I do not, for the life of me, understand how Joel Embiid can be second in the MVP voting, led the league in points per game, and end up on second team All-NBA. How does that happen? No, like Jason Tatum shouldn't have been on that first team All-NBA.
No, because it's a regular season award. I'm with you there. But I think we got to revisit what we were talking about last week and flip over the Eastern Conference. Jason Tatum is arguably now a top 5 player in this league, my man. Like that dude is a
top 5 player.
Bro, he is just a dog, man. Like
he is cold, but like the thing with Tatum is that his game is still very what was it, game 3?
Very what? Like unrefined? Like
no, it's not unrefined. His game is very refined, but he's just he had games where he's just really inconsistent.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that game, what was it, game 3, where he only had like 8 points? Like I don't even think he scored double figures.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like that can't happen, bro.
I'm with you.
Like I don't think you'll get a game like that out of like KD or Giannis. You know what I mean? Or like where you're going to get a game where they're going to score like less than 10 points. Like even when KD struggled against the Celtics, the fewest amount of points he scored was 18?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, man. I mean, that's one game though. I know what you mean. Like maybe like you think of a top 5 player and say that would never let that happen. But like just the upside I've seen from him, like that dude is just.
I mean, he's coming. I definitely think I would say by next year I would definitely put him in that scope, but I just can't. I don't know if I can throw him in there now.
Yeah, well, okay. I mean, but can the postseason change that? Because looking like they're going to win this series. That's not a for sure thing, but
yeah,
to get to the finals.
I expected them to win this series anyway.
Yeah, I said them in 7. And now I didn't even realize the Heat were depleted as they were. I really don't think the Heat are gonna.
Yeah, they're done for. I mean, Jimmy you can tell his knee is bothering them. Mm-hmm. Hero's out with the growing injury.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Lowry is just old.
He is, bro. Just an old man. It was a good run while it lasted, though. Do you think that's like the end of like the Heat's going to have to rebuild now, or at least change some pieces, or you think they just run it back?
They just need to make some small adjustments. They have a good team. They're not very old, to be honest. Lowry's probably like the oldest, but if they can potentially get another guard, they need. One thing that I think is also hurting them is that they don't have Markieff Morris either. That's a piece. Yep. That could be hurting, especially defensively, like against a team like the Celtics and everything. They wouldn't be as small. They just have like pieces where they're missing things. I think they can run it back and still have a really good squad. So I don't think they need to. They just need to make some small adjustments. I don't think they need to like completely redo it though.
So it's looking like Golden State, Boston, then, huh? That's that'll be interesting, man. It's very cool to see. And I was never necessarily a fan, but it is cool to see Golden State do what they did, like revolutionize the game from 2015 to 2016. And then the KD thing happened. Obviously, they won those chips, and then got depleted with injuries the last couple of years. But now it's like they're healthy, and it's like they're right back where they were. Like, it's cool to see.
Yeah, I mean, if they win this championship this year, I think this still kind of falls within that realm of like that dynasty.
Oh, it does.
Because when that team is fully healthy, they've made it to the finals
right
every time.
Your boy KD is sweating bullets right now, bro.
He is
sweating bullets right now, bro. He's like hoping they lose. I guarantee it.
That dude ain't worried about them. I promise you. I promise you, he's not worried about them, man.
I am, bro. That's a hit to his legacy. I really do.
Why is that a hit to his legacy?
I listen. I understand you're a fan, but you have to like. And I know like your points on like they needed him for like that Houston series and stuff, but like just take it in a box. Like they won, and then they won 73 games. Were what, like a minute away from winning that series against the Cavs, and the Cavs pulled it out. And then KD came and they won, but it's like within the next couple of years he left and they were injured. But as soon as they got back to being healthy, they were right back to where they were, man. Like it's like I stick with that argument that like that team was an all-time great team, obviously, but like KD was not needed. Maybe they wouldn't have won that one year, but he wasn't not needed for them to be this kind of dynasty where they were going to win multiple championships like over a 5-6 year period.
I don't know if I can say that.
No,
I legit cannot. That they were having problems with that Houston team.
They were
with KD.
They were
with KD. They were having problems. They were having like who else? What was the other outside of Houston? There was someone. No,
I mean the Clippers in the first round that one time took them like six games.
Yeah, I think it was the Clippers. Like they just, or even they had a one series. I think it was like even with like New Orleans. Like there are points when like KD gave them what they needed, and he just made them unstoppable.
Like, yeah, that's my point, bro. That's my point. He made them unstoppable.
Right, but so you replace, so you leave Harrison Barnes there. Let's just say that they don't do the trade. They leave Harrison Barnes there.
Well,
I don't think that they're beating the Cavs 2 out of those 3 times that they played them.
Maybe not. But I think they're definitely getting back to the finals. Maybe they wouldn't have won of the years, but and that's my point. Kind of what you said to your point. Like it made them unstoppable with KD. Without them, they're still just like this incredible team that like I think would have won probably at least one more. I mean, again, that 73 win year, they were a minute away. I mean, it was tied with a minute left, and Kyrie hit that shot. You know what I mean? Like, and that. All the arguments people make about that, like, oh, Bogut got hurt, Draymond got suspended. It's like, I mean,
Draymond did get suspended. I give that to him, but I think we have to realize, like, just that as much as of a LeBron fan that you are completely underestimating that team and what he did with that team. Like, for them to even get a game out of the Warriors is a thing. And they probably could have got maybe more than one at JR.
Oh my God. That's one of the worst. I remember watching that live, and it was my first date with my then girlfriend. We were bowling. He had like, what, 49 at that point, and I was like, this is crazy. They're going to win. And then I was like, came back from the frame and was like, what the fuck just happened, bro? Like, that was the craziest shit I've ever seen.
The bro was like, what?
Yeah, he's like, that was so nuts. I was confused. I was like, did they win? Like, were they up? And I didn't know. Like, I was so like, that was one of the most bizarre moments ever, man. I mean,
for sure,
definitely in my life.
It's just because you don't see something like that at that level.
No,
right? I mean, you don't know time, score, time. Like you at that level, you just don't see that.
And that one was more blatant than the other ones. Like I know, like the Chris Reber one. Remember where he like called timeout and they.
But again, that's at a collegiate level,
right? And then or like the Isaiah Thomas back in the day. Remember he threw it away to Larry Bird and they, you know, what I'm talking about. But that's still
that was like a play. That was like a play. You know,
it wasn't like
a
gaff. Yeah,
it wasn't like he was just moving too fast. But JR like completely.
Well, we know JR was smoking that blunt.
Time, bro. Like JR was off the Henny that night.
He was hitting that giggle stick in the locker room before the game. Was what he was doing. Like, have you seen those videos of him? Just like you just show. I mean, he just looks. There's no way that dude wasn't fucking high playing. I mean, that guy. JR's an OG, man. I love that dude. Talk about someone that could hit the most difficult shots. I swear he would rather be like falling out of bounds with two dudes on him than take a wide open three. He's gonna hit it. Like,
bro, I was watching this clip. JR is like, I don't want to say he was underrated, but I would say as an athlete, JR was fucking elite, bro.
You used to throw it down in Denver. I mean, like he was.
You know what I mean? And like, and not only did he have like the hops, but he had JR had a jumper, bro. Like it was wet.
Pure. For sure, man. I'm totally.
You know what I mean? And I think people like had JR been able to kind of like hone that craft a little bit more, he could have been like really dangerous, to be honest with you, bro. But he was nice.
He was. There was just a couple of those plays. I remember the one where the Cavs were playing the Bucks, and he like walked off the floor and dabbed up.
Right, dabbed up somebody, and then they just cut to the. It was like, bro, what are you doing?
The middle of the game. Oh man! Shout out to him though. I think he went back to he's in school now again. He's like on a golf team and stuff.
North Carolina A&T.
He got like a 4.0. I'm like
4.0. I think he was like he was ended up being like a scholar athlete for the golf team. So shout out to him, bro. Yeah. Doing big things.
Swish, man.
Back to the lecture at hand. Like,
yeah, they could have got a game. Yeah, I'm with you.
I get what you're saying that KD, he made them unstoppable, but without him there, I don't know if they're winning 2 more championships.
Okay, I agree with you there. Yeah, it wasn't guaranteed, and that it always.
With him it was guaranteed, but without him,
yeah,
it's tough.
Right.
So, Celtics, Warriors. Who do you have? How many games? What are we talking?
I would. I, as a fan, would rather. I'm a fan of Jason Tatum. Like, I'd like to see them win. But yeah, if I had to put money on it, it's going to be the championship experience of Golden State, of Steph Curry. Excuse me, that whole core, really. I mean, they've been there between Draymond, Clay, and him. Like 4 times, 5 times? I mean, like I think it's a no-brainer that would be them. But who knows, man? And if Jason Tatum pulls it off, Mo Nelson. We'll have some stuff to talk about.
So I'm going to say this. I believe Boston will win the finals.
Wow. Okay.
I do. They have I think they have a bigger, more athletic team, and they're better defensively. I believe the Warriors turned the ball over way too many times for me, and I don't think that's a recipe where they can survive that against the Celtics.
Wow. I'm shocked. Wow.
This is the thing, though. It's going to be dependent upon whether or not Marcus Smart is going to be healthy.
Yeah, is he playing right now?
Well, he played the last game, if I'm not mistaken. I think he played their last game against Miami. So if he's healthy and he can go out there and play, they win. If he's not healthy, I don't think that they're going to win. He, for me, is like that key to that because of the defense that he can put on Steph.
I got you. Yeah, wow, man. I was not expecting you to say that. Like if you had to put money on it, like a lot of
I would legit pick the Celtics. I think they're a better team.
Okay, man. Okay. This is gonna be very interesting then, because you're giving them more. You're making, yeah. I mean, you think they're gonna win, but that to me is even just like I feel like Golden State's gonna do it within like 6 games. So I hope you're right. I want Boston.
One, I think if I'm not mistaken, Boston would have home court.
I don't know. Boston was the second seed, but I don't know how many wins they had.
I think they would.
They're probably just over 50 wins. They're probably within a couple wins of each other. I mean,
no, Golden State would have the home court, and they got 53 wins. Boston had 51.
Yeah.
So they'll get home court, but I like how good defensively Boston is, and just the athleticism and size that they have compared to Golden State. Golden State is small.
They are
really small, and then they can do what Golden State does, except for probably just not shoot the ball as well. But outside of that, like I don't know if they have a matchup for Tatum.
They don't. To me, it's just like I
feel like they're gonna put Clay on them.
Yeah. Or Wiggins. Wiggins has been playing really good.
Yeah, they could put Wiggins on him, which he plays really good D. But then, maybe I shouldn't say that. I think maybe they do have a matchup, but I just don't know how well, like.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Tatum's a stud, bro. You don't have to tell me. The Golden State Warriors have always been like an anomaly to me, man. I've never understood it since they've started dominating. I mean, like you said, they've always been smaller than everyone they played. They play good D. But they're small, and it's just literally came down to like really good ball movement and just like overwhelming people with 3-pointers. Like that's just what it seems like.
Yeah, the thing is I don't understand is why teams don't try to punish them in the paint.
Mm-hmm.
Like Dallas can't do that because they don't have the roster to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But Boston does. Like they got Al Horford, they got Robert Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Like they got, even Grant Whitman, like they got guys that can go that can score in a post and punish them, especially on rebound.
I'm with you, man. And you would think that would then make them collapse if you continued to punish them, and then that would just open it up for the outside. In that case, you'd think someone like Philly would match up really good against them, but like I just feel like
Philly don't have the scoring.
Again, even though they got Embiid on the inside, I feel like Golden State would just have their way with them, man. That's what I mean. I agree with you. It's weird that they don't just like collapse on the inside, but Draymond plays such good interior defense for being so undersized, man. Like he's just so good, like on ball, like that, like he gives people problems. Like it's crazy,
Yeah, but I don't think that he doesn't have the size to match up with Horford and Robert Williams.
No, but. They're not like athletic freaks, though. You know what I mean? Like it's like.
Have you seen that? Like Robert Williams has like a
Robert Williams is athletic. He's athletic.
Like
I was thinking of Horford when I was saying that.
Horford. It's not about Horford being athletic. It's just Horford is just bigger and stronger.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting.
So
what do you think? You say in 7 or like how many?
I'm going to go. I'm going to go Boston. No, I'm going to go Boston in 6. I'm going to go out on the limb and stick with what I think. I'm going to go Boston in 6. I just think they're better.
And you think if that happens and Tatum wins MVP, he's not a top 5 player in the league?
I still think he's top 5 player in the league.
I mean, I respect that. That's cool. But all right. Well, can we do that then right now? Like on the spot, because I haven't really thought of this. Like, who are your top 5 right now?
Top 5, Giannis, KD, Luka, Embiid, and Jokic.
Yeah, I'm with you, but I'm replacing Tatum and Jokic there. I'm putting Jokic right behind him, but out of the other 4, I'm definitely with you.
I can't do it.
No.
Do you know what's crazy is that there's players that we are leaving off of this.
Oh yeah, like LeBron, like that's nuts to think.
But he's just not there, right? Like he's his age, right? Like he's not there. But like you think about like Kawhi is injured. We don't even know what he's.
We didn't say Steph. We didn't say
Steph. Right. We didn't say Steph. We didn't say Book. Like some of these guys that made All NBA, like we didn't mention them.
Right. So, it's tough, man. It's a pretty stacked league right now. Like we got a lot of talent. Like it seems like there was a period in like the early 2010s to the late 2010s where there was just those distinguished, maybe not exactly 5, but like at least 3 or 4 that were like, you know, the man. Now it's like, I mean, pretty much all those are debatable except probably Giannis. I mean, seriously, like I'm sure people would probably debate KD right now after the way they just exited. I don't agree with that, but
yeah,
the rest of those guys can be debated other than Giannis, honestly. And actually Embiid too. I feel like he's got to be in the top 5 without question. Yeah.
I don't know how you can. I think there's no. I'm sorry, not even with KD. I don't think you can argue that.
I'm with you there, but people would. I think people really would right now. You know,
are you crazy? Have you seen this guy play basketball before?
I mean, the last we saw it didn't look too good, but yeah.
it wasn't that he. So we go. Okay, let's address. It wasn't that he didn't look good. Like let me say this: he didn't look good.
Yeah,
but it was just because like he just wasn't as comfortable and as efficient as we used to see, right? But like if you look at his numbers, it weren't like they were terrible.
No, did they get swept? I'm trying to remember. Was it 4 or 5?
They did get swept.
That last game he played good. I remember that.
Right, and if you think about it, game 1, Boston won on that last second layup by Tatum. Right, so they probably could have got a game out of it.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, he had at least, but there was 4 games this year. At least 2 of those non-arguable, he played bad. Like it was just like we were like, come on, dude. I know it's like, think about it. We were texting, and I remember you like texting me that I have never seen KD like this, and it was so true.
I hadn't seen KD like that, but to say like bad, I don't know if I could get to the point to where I'm saying like, when I think bad, I'm thinking like him scoring like less than 10 points, a ton of turnover. Like he didn't look comfortable. I don't think I could say he looked bad.
Yeah, but there was a period after like I think game 3. This number isn't exact, but I swear it was like he had like 19 made field goals and like 12 turnovers. Like I mean, it was like for him, it's like it was just not good. He had
a lot of turnovers, but you think about it, 12 turnovers through a span of 3 games.
I know, but it was more so the fact that he barely had more field goals made than turnovers. You know what I mean? Like that was whatever. It was like it just didn't look good, man. Like I'm not here to shit on him. I hate it when people did that to LeBron, but like also in that same token, like with that energy, it's like LeBron would have been crucified if he did what KD just did, like without question. Like he would have been like hung up on a stake. And
I mean, they did finish like 10th in the West, though.
They did. Isn't that weird right there, though? It's like.
And he picked this team. Like, he picked this team.
Yeah, ridiculous, man. But see, that goes to show you, bro. It's crazy that, like, kind of back to the whole LeBron thing. Like, you get less criticism missing the playoffs or getting bounced earlier than, like, LeBron's streak of going to the finals and losing. Like, people, like, crucified LeBron for that. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of crazy to me.
It is crazy, but I think some of it is the fact that like it's because he did this. He put this team together, and it did not work.
No, it didn't. I don't know how anyone thought that was going to work, bro. I didn't get that at all. So that's going to be interesting too. I mean, I don't know how they move that contract, but you have to think they're going to do something.
It's got to go. It can't work.
No,
it can't work.
Did you see? Oh, you did. You sent me a clip from it. The Kyrie interview on I Am Athlete. That was pretty interesting. Yeah,
it was.
Because they asked him. I think Shady McCoy asked him like, "How many rings would you have LeBron won if you stayed together?" And Kyrie was.
What did he say?
It was like, "Shit, if we stayed together, he's like, I'd be in LA with him right now. Like we'd have like, yeah." He said like a bunch. Basically, it was interesting to hear. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
It was cool to hear him talk about it because you never really heard his whole side of actually what happened. He went like in depth for like 10 minutes about it. And he was basically like, the media just created that whole thing that I had an issue with LeBron. It was literally just like an issue with myself. And I was ready to, step out and do my own thing. And I was like, cool. That was good for me. Like, and that shows. Yeah. And I'm completely cool with that. But to me, it gave me a bad taste with the media, man. I'm like, because that 2017 offseason, like, so that was all just made up, like all that bullshit. Because I was a Kyrie hater at that point. I was like, what the fuck is this dude doing? Like, right? They made it seem like he was just starting drama and like all this shit. Like, I mean, that's pretty crazy to hear.
Yeah.
That was LeBron's best running mate, bro. Like, I like.
Oh, hands because they marry each other really well, right? because LeBron can still go and facilitate, and Kyrie can go and do what he does best.
Yeah.
Right. That's why they work out so well. It's like Kyrie doesn't. I don't have to facilitate when I'm with LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
I can just go and do work. Right. Where LeBron, one of his best skill set is passing the ball. Great, go ahead, pass the ball. But when you're ready to pass it to me, just know I'm about to go put in work.
Mm-hmm. You're so right, man. It was fun to watch them. That would have been interesting if that would have continued. I think they probably would have won at least one more. At least one, I'm going to say.
I wouldn't put it past it. They'd have had to get rid of Kevin Love, but I wouldn't put it past it.
Yeah, man. LeBron's third fiddle always seems to suffer a little bit. Chris Bosh kind of fit that role seamlessly.
He fit it so well.
And Kevin Love did in the regular season, but it seemed like always in the playoffs, his numbers, at least his numbers.
He just picked on it because he couldn't play. He couldn't defensively. He just wasn't that solid.
Yeah.
He got picked on, especially against Golden State.
It's just weird that he's not in the conversation anymore, man. Like it's like never thought you'd see that day where LeBron was just like, we just listed 5 players, and he wasn't even on my debatable list. Really, I wasn't even thinking about him for top 5.
It's not that LeBron isn't good. It's just he's older, right?
Yeah.
Age happens, and it just comes with that. You see it in his game where he doesn't have that same consistent elevation. You see it. His jump shot is just with his field goal percentage just isn't there, especially from 3. It's a decline, but the dude still put up what
30.
Damn near average 30. So it's not like it's still not there. It's a different an evolution of it, but it is what it is.
He's gonna pass Kareem next year though if he's healthy. That is gonna be like I have to watch that game because I got to see.
It's gonna be a moment. It's gonna be a moment.
I'm like waiting for the schedule to come out because I hope they play Phoenix towards like the middle end of the season because like that'd be like to go to that.
Bro, that ticket about to be fucking ridiculous, bro.
Not if you buy it early though. That's what I'm thinking. Like
even if you buy, this is the thing. It's because the Lakers are already gonna try to project like okay, like if LeBron averages at least like 25 a game, right? They're going to project. So that way, I guarantee you, if you look at when those tickets go on sale and you look at that game and try to determine like when he's going to hit that, them tickets for like those couple of games before and those couple of games after, those ticket sales are going to be high.
If they play them, I'm going to have to try to get a ticket anyways because I've never seen LeBron live. But if they play them in like February or March, I'm going to try to get on there early, like snag one because like that.
Make it happen, bro.
Yeah, that'd be a crazy moment. Yeah. You ever seen LeBron?
Have I seen LeBron? No.
I didn't see him. I didn't see Kobe. I saw Shaq once on the Suns, oddly enough. That was kind of weird. I haven't seen any really greats other than Shaq, though, when he wasn't in his prime, man.
Yeah, I saw Kobe win his last game here. Saw AD. I'm pissed I never got to see KG, and you know that's my guy.
That is your guy.
I don't know if I ever told you, so I bought tickets to go and see KD or KG when he was with the Celtics. And remember when they got into that brawl?
Oh, you did tell me that. Yeah, you had tickets for that.
I was pissed. I was supposed to be at that game.
Why weren't you?
Had some shit come up and I just couldn't go.
That stinks, bro. Yeah,
I was pissed. That'd have been a dog ass game to go.
They would have. So, if Golden State wins,
yes,
I feel like seriously have to start like having the conversation. I know he's not like a atypical point guard, but like Steph's got to be in that conversation for like greatest point guards of all time at that point.
I wouldn't put it. Yeah,
like up there with.
I think he's already up there.
I think he's already up there, but like then we get start debating. Like, where is he? Like, is he like? Can we start like doing the debate with him and Magic? I mean, they're not nearly. They're just completely different players, but like
they're completely different players. I think so. What's going to be difficult with Steph when it comes to Magic is Magic brought in a certain amount of notoriety when it came to the NBA that Steph can't. Unfortunately, Steph just isn't able to be that, right? Like he brought the NBA of age, right? Like he brought the fanfare, all that. Him and Bird brought that to the NBA.
They did.
Prior to the NBA was like just a failing organization, barely had any teams. Like, and him and Bird really brought this fanfare to the league. And then Jordan just took it and let that shit fly. Like Jordan took off with it.
Lit it on fire.
But I think that's the major difference. But as far as like a game.
Yeah, but also Curry revolutionized the game too. He changed the game too, you know. Not only is he just a great player that could now be getting 4 rings, like he's the greatest shooter of all time, like, and he changed the way basketball's played. Like few can say that. Like, Wilt did that. Who else made like Kareem maybe? I mean, like who changed the game? AI, definitely. Shaq. Curry, like he's in that list. Like I might even necessarily say I don't think I can even say like LeBron's in there or Kobe. Like they didn't like change the game.
LeBron's on there, Kobe. No, MJ's in there just from
MJ's in there. Yeah.
Especially more so from like the freedom of movement that players have. Jordan started that, especially with like that whole thing with the Pistons and everything. Jordan started that, so definitely Jordan in there. But
he ruined the game, is what you're trying to say.
He didn't. I don't think he ruined the game. He didn't ruin the game because I mean, even during his years and everything, like after that series, like the game was still relatively physical. It wasn't. I think I'll say probably until like the late 2000s, 2010s, where things start to like just really,
and
really start to open up.
I understand why they do it for the safety of the players. Like part of me wishes I could have been alive back in the 80s and like watched that style of basketball. But I do have to say when people give people shit now, as far as like it's easier to score offensively, maybe. But I also think people don't give that same respect to the defense. I think it's way harder to like it's more respectable to be an amazing defender now than it was back then when you could hand check and wrap someone up or punch someone if you felt like it. You know?
Right. Like you have to remember. You remember. What was it when Kurt Rambis went up and I forgot? I don't know who was it. Mikhail that clothesline.
Someone just
and it was just like a regular foul. It wasn't even a flagrant, a technical or nothing. It was just a regular foul, bro.
Yes,
like that's the type of shit that was going on back then.
Or like Lambeer. Remember Parrish just punched Lambeer in the back of the head when he was getting that rebound?
Bro, it was wilding back then.
He didn't even throw him out. It was just like
but I also like. Is it easier to be an offensive player now? Yes. But you also have to be a good enough offensive player as well. Like it may be easier, but if you're not good enough to put the ball in the basket, like your level of skill, because defenders understand that like the game is kind of against them a little bit as far as how physical they can be and what they can do defensively. They have to be super athletic and long. And so for you to be able to score on a guy like an Andrew Wiggins or something like that, or Kawhi or anything, or Paul George or whatever it is, you gotta have some skill.
Right. Yeah. And that's not even accounting for the fact that like players just naturally can like shoot the ball farther and more efficiently now. You know what I mean? Like it's just a completely different game. Again, back to that Steph and Clay thing, they really kind of revolutionized that. But yeah, I think Curry's got to be. We got to start talking about that if they win this, man. I mean, like you said, he's already in that conversation. But like, if he wins this, the only knock I would say is this would probably be his first Finals MVP. We don't even know if he's going to win that yet. But like, he doesn't even have a Finals MVP yet. So maybe that's a knock there where you'd be.
Yeah, like, I mean, maybe. But you think about it. He's as far as point guards go, he's probably the only one that had 2 MVPs, 1 unanimous MVP, right? And I think the other thing with Magic is Magic has what 5 rings.
So this would be 4 for Curry. So that's like
it would be 4 for Curry.
You know.
So I think the conversation just ends up between him and Magic, honestly, and now I think it still ends up between him and Magic.
Yeah. I'm with you there. I think if he wins his finals, then it's like solidified. It's between him and Magic for sure. Like no one can even argue that. I mean, yeah. But it's crazy how different they are. Just bodies, height, game. All of it, just completely different types of, you wouldn't even think they're the same position if you didn't know what basketball was and you were like, this is player A and this is player B. Like they played the same fucking position. That's pretty cool. Right. Man, it is. Game has changed a lot, man. Completely. Yeah. Completely. All right. So do we want to talk about this? What is it? Is it Romero? Tank? And Tank this weekend? Yeah, I think that's Saturday. That'd be pretty cool. It's on pay-per-view, so I'm bummed about that because your boy's a little tight on funds, so I don't think I'll be watching until after. You or I, but so, I mean, he talking mad.
he talking bad shit right now.
Tank's talking about everyone, bro. He's like,
no, I'm talking about Romero. He's talking about he gonna knock him out in round 1.
That would be pretty nuts. I don't think that'll happen. But
it ain't gonna happen. But
no, I really like Tank. He didn't look as great in his last fight. But actually, that was against may not have been his last fight, but it was either 2 fights ago. Our dude, Isaac Cruz, and he struggled with him. So it'll be. I don't know. Maybe. I hope that wasn't a sign that he's the hype show wasn't, he was just fighting tomato cans and maybe like he's stepping up in competition and isn't going to look as dominant. I hope that's not the case. I'd like to see Tank become a superstar because he's fun, man. That dude's got like just cannons in those hands, man.
He does. He has power, bro. Like, and he's quick. He just got. I'm really excited. I don't know. I'm not going to catch it on paper, but I may try to go somewhere that may be showing it and try to see if I can catch it somewhere.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Watch it there. So, but I'm excited about it. And then, just as I was starting to build respect for Jake Paul,
what do?
He goes and says that he is looking to have Glenn Big Baby Davis as his next match.
Oh my God, is he real?
Bro, just as I was starting to gain some respect for you, you go, bro, what the fuck are you doing?
Pretty sure Big Baby's in like court right now over that like NBA. Remember that?
Oh yeah,
when he was like laundering money from like the players' like retirement fund or something.
He was over here making flaunts like health insurance claims and shit.
That's what it was.
Collecting the money on it.
Yeah.
This guy. But
those motherfuckers. Yeah, no, that's bad.
As soon as we were starting to like gain some respect for you, you gonna go back to this like come on, right? Of course people gonna check in. People gonna check in because Glenn Davis is a big motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Glenn Davis is I'd be surprised if he's not already 300 pounds.
I'm not as mad as you because I don't think that's actually going to happen. But if that does happen, yeah, that's egregious. At that point, it's going to be like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Like, I can't take you serious. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't hear that. Was that like today?
It's literally on ESPN where they talking about I'm like, bro, like, come on.
He's all over the place, man. Then he's
don't do this, bro.
But he's fighting Canelo in a couple of years. Is what he's saying.
We're legit, like, we were rooting for you, and you went and Glenn Davis, bro. Come on now.
I wonder who is next. He said it's to be announced soon. So I would like to see the Tommy Fury thing. That's a legitimate boxer.
That I feel like just seems, come on now. And then, okay, so before I jump to what's the name? So as far as Tank and Romero, what do you got? Who do you think?
I think.
How many rounds?
Romero's a good fighter. He's got good footwork and he's tough, man. Like he's just a tough fucking fighter. But because he struggled with Isaac Cruz, I'm less tempted to say Tank's going to get a knockout now that he stepped up in competition. But his power alone scares people. And I think he uses that to become the aggressor. He kind of just walks people down. And, like, you'd think being the aggressor when you're walking someone down, it takes more energy. But it takes more energy being the dude on the back foot when you have to just be popping and moving and worrying about this dude coming forward. So I'm going to say Tank's going to be the aggressor and he's going to win on points. Like, not like a landslide unanimous decision, but it'll be like clear to the eye that he wins on points. That's my prediction.
Okay.
What about you?
I just think with Tank's quickness and the power that he has, and I think understanding just after that off his last fight, I think he just has something to prove. So I think he will kind of knock Romero out.
I hope to see it. That'd be really cool.
I'm gonna go kind of like more like mid round, so like maybe 8.
Okay.
I'll go 8 that he'll start to wear him down and he'll catch him. So that's what I
love that division, bro. There's so much going on there. But did you see Ryan Garcia and Isaac Cruz is off? Like it was on and now it's off.
Is it off?
I'm so upset, bro.
Are you serious? I was looking forward to it.
I know, man.
I was gonna check in.
I would have paid that. Yeah, me too, bro. So I mean Garcia's claiming Cruz called it off, but I don't know. I was like looking it up and couldn't find a definitive answer on that. So this is boxing, man. That's how it goes, bro.
Your girl Shields is coming back.
Who's she fighting? Do we know?
Savannah Marshall?
I don't know who that is.
That's good to hear. It is.
I know she tried MMA for a couple fights and then kind of.
But I mean, Marshall is 12-0 with 10 knockouts.
I don't think that's the one girl I'm thinking of, but there is a girl that overseas that's just like a fucking animal. I mean, she's been knocking out everyone that she fights. Maybe that is her, but I'll have to check that out. That'll be cool. I know we got Cambosis. Cambosis is fighting soon. I think that's in a couple weeks to unify, because I think he's fighting Devin Haney, who has that other belt. So, man, that lightweight division is stacked, man. We got the young guys.
So I saw something that was kind of intrigued me. I don't believe it's true, but if it is, it could be cool. I saw that there's a rumor around Fury and Ruiz. Not Fury. Wilder and Ruiz.
Yeah, I saw that too. That'd be interesting, and because Wilder did just come out and say he's not done, he's going to fight again. So that'd be cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I just think Wilder's too much for Ruiz, man. Like, I really think Wilder's too much for anyone except Fury. I think like maybe Joshua and Usyk would give Wilder problems, but he's just going to catch you at some point, and then you're going to sleep. Like, you know what I mean?
It literally. I mean, you got to think about it. Outside of that second fight, he caught Fury at least once.
He knocked him down twice in both the other fights. Twice in the first fight and twice in the third fight. You're right. Exactly. Yeah. And Fury just got up from the will of God. Like, I don't know what like everyone else just like leaves the stratosphere when they get hit.
I can't do it.
Yeah. So that's my thing. Like, even though I think Ruiz is more skilled footwork, better combinations, Anthony Joshua, same thing, Usyk, same, like, just at some point you get caught, man. Like, and when he catches you, it's lights out. So
yeah,
I don't know. And Ruiz does have good footwork, and he's kind of quick for his size, but he's a little slower.
He's
a little
not
chubby.
Fury. I don't know if he has. Fury has phenomenal head movement.
Yes.
Right, and he still got caught.
Yep.
Ruiz does not have that, bro.
That's a really good point. Like, they all have good footwork, but like Fury's like herky jerky, like in the feints.
It's so unpredictable, and the fact that Wilder caught him as many times as he did, like you said, by the grace of God, he got up. I don't know if Ruiz has that, bro.
No, I don't think any one of them do. I think AJ goes to sleep. AJ, I've just seen crumble under the pressure when he's gone down, like twice now. You know, well, he didn't go down against Usyk, but Usyk was beating him, and it just seemed like about round 7, it just seemed like AJ was like out of that fight mentally. Like, he just felt like you know. So I don't think. I still think Wilder beats any other heavyweight. I really do. Just Tyson Fury. I'd love to see it though. You know, Wilder's who's more exciting.
Comeback for him. Yeah, I think it'd definitely be a good comeback for him though.
And then if he fights any of those other dudes, those are intriguing. Especially if Fury's retired. Like, if he's actually retired, then I'd love to see Wilder fight for the title again. You know, definitely deserves it. I mean, he's only lost to Fury. He's knocked out every other fighter he's fought. He's knocked down every fighter he has fought. You know, I mean, he's just he's a weird one, man. Like, I want to say I definitely is going to go into the Hall of Fame, and he's an all-time great, even though I don't think he's a good boxer. Just so crazy. Like, that's one of the only instances where I can really say that. Not a lot of dudes are able to kind of just like shortchange the sport and not have good combinations or footwork, or be able to fight off the back foot and just simply, I don't even know the word, like, just overcome all that just by having the fucking touch of death in their right hand. Like, I don't like that's like literally what it is, man. Like,
not the touch of death.
That's what it is, man. Like, I've never seen it before, man. I don't want to be prisoner of the moment, but like, every time like I have this conversation with people and I think about it, like, he's the hardest punch, like one punch power I've ever seen in any ever.
It is like it just comes out of nowhere.
Yes,
like, it's because it's so wild. It's not a straight punch. It's not a hook. That bitch just comes from wherever his hand is at that time. It's coming, and it's coming hard.
Yeah, man. It's got to have something to do with his length, and he can just like build that torque with it and just snap that bitch. Because like,
Jesus.
He's like Tommy Hearns, but 7 feet. Like, they're 6'7", however tall he is. You know, he's got that same body, and he can just like wind up into it and just crack.
He just let it ride, bro. It's insane. It's insane.
I did see his. It was his high school or some school in Alabama. Did you see that? Like, put a statue up of him. That was pretty cool. It's like,
oh no, I did see that. That's sweet.
Yeah, I was like,
that's pretty dope.
Get a statue of yourself. That's pretty fucking.
That's
cool.
pretty dope, especially at your high school. That's pretty dope. That's pretty dope, bro.
So we got some big things coming up there, man. Yeah, I don't think there's anything really UFC wise that I know of that's really
Not
pressing
really.
right now. I mean, I know they're saying John Jones is going to come back this summer, so I mean that'd be interesting if that happens. But you never know with him, you know.
Yeah. So I just one last thing I want to talk about before we get off of here. Nick Saban.
Well, that motherfucker.
And like, give me your viewpoint on the whole situation with him and Jimbo Fisher and Deion Sanders. Just
there's nothing other. I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me, bro? Like, really? Like, you have the top recruiting class, maybe not the top, but at least the top 3 or 5 every single year. Like, you've got this dynasty where, like, whether you want to say like people are paying for players or whatever it is, like it's like you on the cloud of Alabama alone. Like, it's like you don't even have to worry about this stuff. Like, you're going to be the number 1 team any year. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I don't ever want to hear you complain about anything. Just like zip it and like you know what I mean? Like, it's I don't know. That's where I'm at with it. Like, he's probably right. I'm sure that happens. Like, but like, I'm sure it happens everywhere. I'm sure I'm sure every college football program does some sketchy shit that either by the letter of the law is illegal or isn't fair or whatever the fuck you want to say. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at with it. Like, college sports is just greasy, bro. Like, all around. Like,
it's nasty. I thought it was fucking petty as shit, bro. Like,
to name the schools too, I think. Like, if you
wanted name to just the schools, and then what's even more fucked up is with Jackson State, you named a fucking player pretty much, right? Trying to call him out and call Deion out. Like, that's some fucked up shit. And then try to say, well, I'll call Coach Deion and apologize to him privately. No, motherfucker, you did all that shit publicly. You better apologize publicly too. Right. That was fucked up. I'm glad that Jimbo Fisher stood up for himself and said something. But
me too.
Like, you can't say that your hands are completely clean in this.
No.
You may you may try to look the other way on some shit, but you are not completely clean if that shit is going on.
Mm-hmm. I'm totally with you.
But also, good for those fucking players.
Yeah, exactly. They deserve it.
As much money as the NCAA makes off these players and these schools makes off of these players, they deserve that money.
That's always been my point with it, man. I'm glad that they're finally allowing that. You know, I always heard the story of Chris Webber even said back in the day, like, I mean, like, he'd be walking down Ann Arbor and he'd see his jersey in the mirror of a store, like whatever, it's $100. Like, I can't even afford like a burger right now. And it's like, you're selling my jersey because of how good I am and what the Fab Five is doing for hundreds of dollars. You know what I mean? It's always been like that. I think it's sad that there was those huge periods of time where when players got caught, they got like Reggie Bush. I'm just a huge fan, so maybe I'm biased, but like, that was all ridiculous to me that he had to forfeit his Heisman because he received money. It's like, how does that affect? If he took steroids, I could understand you.
Right, but that had nothing to do with his performance.
Exactly. Like, how is money going to improve? It's just the NCAA, bro.
NCAA is just a full thing because, and this is what a lot of people were talking about during this whole, when you're having these conversations, like, let's say you are a member of like the band and someone's like, hey, can you come and play at this event and I will pay you?
Mm-hmm.
They can do that. Or that they're having lessons. Mm-hmm. They can do that, right? They can charge for their services, their likeness, and everything. Yep. But the basketball players couldn't.
Right. I think their argument is they get a full-ride scholarship. Like, it's just like
so do like same thing with like these bandmen. They get
that's a good point.
For
yeah, these they play at schools. Yeah, that's a good point.
They literally get money for this, but yet they can still go and make that money. So it's like, and you know what I mean. So it's just a whole.
It is, man.
Fucking shit show. And the NCAA is a joke.
Yeah, I'm with you, bro. It's such a big $1 million industry, like, and I wondered, like, because of that, I don't think it'll ever like crumble per se, but like, I'm hoping that we're starting to see the turnaround of some of it, where it's like, yeah, these players are able to get paid. We can expose some of this corruptness. I really want to see players allowed to jump right into the pros again from high school. I understand the argument of it being, whatever you want to say, like dangerous, because you could do that, get injured real quick, and that ruins your chance when you had a chance to get an education. But if you can go to war at 18 and do all this other stuff, it's like, who is anyone to tell you that you have to stay a year and be amateur before you can become a professional? I just think that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think, especially for basketball. Football, I can understand. because it's just how the physicality of it. Like your body's maybe not fully developed to kind of take on that. But from a basketball standpoint, it doesn't make sense to me.
No.